It's time to talk Ferrari. Ciao friends and welcome back to 2sex Ted. Ferrari News Rundown is the topic of today. I've got 3 Ferrari news stories from the past week or so. First up, Ferrari had the first part of their 2-part team launch in F1. They unveiled their team kit for the 2021 season. It's red. It's red. Only major difference is that Carlos is wearing one of the race suits and not Sebastian Vettel, and they've put a white stripe down the front with an Italian flag in it, which last year only appeared on the team wear, not the race suits. Whether or not that has anything to do with white appearing on the car seems unlikely. Seems like Ferrari are pretty set in this red and black at the moment. Considering that Ferrari chose to split this team launch up, I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more dramatic, but I guess that's all waiting for March 10th, as are all of my Mario jokes. Apart from that one, I guess. Now, I did want to talk about that, but it obviously wasn't enough for a full video, so here are 2 other pieces of Ferrari news. But first, I just wanted to say this is my last video for the month of February. I launched on February the 4th. Thank you all so very much for being here. I'm amazed at how fast this channel has grown. I have had a really fun time making content for this channel and would love to continue doing so. So if you have been enjoying it, please consider hitting that subscribe button, the notification bell, and while you're down there, maybe the like button. It would really help me and the channel out. Thank you. Second piece of Ferrari news then. Callum Ilott has been formally announced as a test driver for Ferrari in F1, coming second in last year's Formula 2 championship. But unlike Mick, who finished first, and Yuki Tsunoda, who finished third, Callum Ilott was unable to secure a seat in Formula 1, and has been unable to secure one in Formula 2 as well. So Ferrari have decided to put him in a GT3 car in the GT World Challenge Europe Endurance Cup. He will be piloting the 488 GT3 car for the Iron Lynx team. Ferrari, of course, defending the Drivers' Championship in that series, won by Alessandro Pierguidi at AF Course. Unfortunately, while Alex Albon and Callum Ilott will both be racing GT3 cars at select rounds in certain championships this year, they aren't the same championship, so we won't be able to compare them side by side. This is a bit of a change for Callum Ilott, who is only used to Formula machinery as of now, and of course going into the endurance rounds, which, to be fair, in GT World Challenge Europe aren't exactly always the longest, but do involve driver swaps and that kind of thing, which he also will not be used to. His first time racing tin tops as well. And finally today, Ferrari the other day announced their intention to rejoin the World Endurance Championships top flight in 2023, launching their own Le Mans Hypercar program, or LMH. This means that Ferrari will once again be fighting for the overall win at WEC events, including Le Mans. Aston Martin were originally supposed to join LMH as well, but pulled out to focus their resources on Formula 1. Or at least that's what they said. I think it just got a little bit expensive. LMH should eventually replace LMP1, or Le Mans Prototype 1, as a much cheaper class for manufacturers and teams to enter. As part of the regulations, LMH cars also have to have a companion road car, which means that whatever Ferrari choose to build for 2023 will have some kind of road-going equivalent. You won't be able to afford one though, and even if you can, you probably won't be allowed to buy one unless you've bought about 20 Ferraris previously. However, a lot of the renders I've seen for LMH show these cars as a lot more road-going than they probably will be in reality, considering what we've already seen from Toyota and Glickenhaus. Ferrari had previously announced that they weren't intending to join IndyCar because they wanted to focus their resources on other championships. I have a feeling this is what they meant. IndyCar being a spec series, LMH not being. It only makes sense that if Ferrari were trying to divert some resources that they're no longer allowed to spend in F1 due to the budget cap, they would be more willing to divert those to LMH, a program where aerodynamics and engines matter a lot more. Ferrari didn't, however, rule out IndyCar in the future, but we will wait and see. I imagine it's also helpful that a lot more of the rounds of WEC are in Europe. IndyCar is pretty much entirely in North America, which is quite a drive from Maranello. Okay, so that is my Ferrari news roundup for the day. Seems like Ferrari are going to be everywhere over the coming years. F1, GT3 and LMH. So if you are a fellow Tifoso, there is lots to look out for. 3 news stories, so 3 questions today. Are you a little bit disappointed in Scuderia Ferrari's first of 2 launches? Were you expecting a little bit more considering they split them up? Secondly, how do you think Callum Ilott will do in GT3 cars? He's not particularly experienced in it, so what do you think? And finally, are you excited to see Ferrari once again fighting for the overall win at Le Mans? Tell me your thoughts down below. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you next time.